So I've known Professor Mancini for 20 years. He was my student in our very first year here at Florida Gulf Coast University. I got to know him extremely well during his undergraduate work. He took, I don't even know how many classes with me.
She was teaching, I believe it was issues in media literature and the arts, and she, so I signed up for that summer class, and there were, I think, 5 people in it, and 1 person dropped, so there was only 4. There were 4 of us in the class, so we got to know the teacher really well. And my roommate had actually encouraged me to take a class with her. He said, "You should really check this teacher out. I think you'd really like her." And sure enough, that was the first class that I took with her, and I was hooked from that point on. I just took tons of classes with her. Any class I could take with Dr. Rocca, I took.
He'll kill me for saying this, but he was a little bratty 18-year-old when I met him. And, you know, he was finding his way in the world, and as all 18-year-olds do, not always making the best possible choices.
I was very lost at that point when I met her. I was contemplating even dropping out of school. I'd actually received my first F that spring semester, and I thought that I was just not going to cut it in school. And I took her class, and it opened my eyes to this whole other side of school that I didn't really get that first year. And the way that she listened to me as a student, and I see her model this to this day with her students, I just felt just so welcomed, and I felt like I had something important to contribute. From that point forward, she became my mentor. All the classes that I took with her, I really wanted to understand, you know, what going to school was all about, more from just, when I say mentor, not just in terms of the subject matter, but she taught me about, you know, living a meaningful life.
And then he met his bride in one of my classes.
We always joke around in class when she comes in and she says how she introduced me to my wife and all that, and she did. But I don't think without Maria, I would have realized how, you know, the aspects of my life that were so meaningful, you know. So I even think about to this day when I listen to my kids, I think about the lessons I learned from Maria about listening to other people. So she really taught me some valuable lessons that I didn't even realize at the time, that I think back to now, and I'm like, wow, yeah, that was really important. So she affected me in a profound way.
And so we've, you know, obviously continued our friendship through the years. He went on to NYU to do his master's, and when he moved back here, as soon as I had the opportunity to hire him to teach, I did, and it's one of the best hires I've ever done. I have a daughter, but I don't have a son, and he has become the son to me that I had always hoped I would have. He really is family to me.
For the longest time, the best teacher in my life was my dad, and he gave me, and I love my dad, and he gave me so much in my early years. He was such a great teacher. But Maria Rocca is the best teacher I've ever had in my life.
I hope that I've had the influence on him of reminding him that we teach because it's a vocation and it's a calling, not a job. And that when we go into the classroom, that we're dealing with precious, amazing, beautiful, wonderful human beings and impacting their lives and shaping their lives. And so I think that some of, you know, that's my philosophy, and I think a lot of that he's embraced. So many jobs that a person does, you never know if anything you've done has made a difference. Now you're going to get me to cry. This for me has been, what's the word I want to use? Validation that what I've devoted my life to really was worthwhile.